What's up, friends? We have a comedy show going on tonight where I'm performing, and also my wonderful friend Tamer Kattan is also performing. We decided to talk about his amazing, wonderful 90s sleeve, a bunch of other tattoo stuff. He has a great story that is one of my favorite stories. You're gonna love it. Let's watch. Hey, thanks for watching One-Liner. We picked the noisiest street in Echo Park to shoot this.
I like it.
But it's okay because we've got a very special guest. It is Tamer Kattan, everyone.
Thanks, man.
Tamer.
Thanks for having me.
So, this happened like 3 times tonight. So, you have a few tattoos, like one or two, right?
A few, yeah.
Perfect. Which one was your first one?
First tattoo ever, believe it or not, was the flames.
Oh, so you started.
Yeah. And I recognize it. It's like having a Camaro on your arm.
That's a bold statement.
Such an era to have like flames tattooed on your forearm.
I'm surprised you don't have like little barbed wire around it, a tramp stamp of flames.
No, it's the guy version of the fucking barbed wire tramp stamp. Am I allowed to cuss?
Yeah, you can cuss all
good.
you want.
Yeah, that's
I don't think too many 4-year-olds are watching the tattoo show. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was my first one. I went big. I went
cool.
really big, and it was at a place called Purple Panther.
Okay.
In Hollywood, and I had a friend who died, and my mom and dad didn't let me go to his funeral because he was a drug addict. And I was just a kid.
How old were you?
I was like 16 at the time. So he died, and I was supposed to go with him on his birthday. My parents wouldn't let me go. He crashed his car, died. 2 of the other guys in the car died. I was supposed to be in the car. But I was an only child, and that guy was like my big brother. He was like my best friend, you know?
He was fam, yeah.
They used to call him Crazy Eddie because he was nuts. He was like this skinny dude, punk rock, walked with like spaghetti suspenders, white beater tank top, and a cane, dude. The cat was smooth.
Did he need the cane?
No, he did not.
I low-key hoped he kind of needed it. I'm like, just to add to the badass.
And dude, he was Skinny Bones Jones, but when he made a fist, his knuckles just shot out like antlers. And he'd punch you with arm, you just get this huge bruise. Like he was this gnarly guy.
Yeah.
And when he passed away, it was like losing a brother because I never had a brother.
For sure.
And I wanted to go to the funeral and they wouldn't let me go. And then I kept thinking about him and going, how do I
commemorate
his life? I needed closure,
yeah.
You know? And I found this he had this.
Because you didn't get a goodbye.
No,
yeah.
I never got a goodbye. He had this tattooed on his arm because he used to fix up hot rods and he was a boxer.
Yeah.
And I had just started boxing, didn't know shit about cars. I still don't know shit about cars. And I fucking took this photo and I took 6 buses to Hollywood, got to Pink Panther, and at the time, this is like the 90s.
Yeah.
So like, we're standing outside, there's like, I see these 3 big Harley Davidson women, like kind of plus size ladies.
Yeah.
And then they're looking
the more beautiful, yeah, I got you.
And I walk past them, I go inside the tattoo shop and I go, hey, I want to get this tattooed on my arm. And I was, I was like 17, now I'm 17. He looks at the picture and he goes, do you have any other tattoos? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And he goes, you want flames up your arm as your first tattoo? And I go, yeah. And he goes,
you don't want 2 initials, you don't want, like a tiny butterfly this big.
Exactly. So then he goes, well, how old are you? And I go, 17. And he goes, oh, dude, get out of here. You can't. You got to be 18, you got to have ID, blah, blah. And I'm like, so then I walk out, and as I walk out the tattoo shop, I realize I don't have a plan for how to get home. I only figured out how to get to the tattoo shop because I
never figured out a bus route back.
Dude, I was just drunk on sadness, you know? I was just driven to do this thing, but I didn't have like a plan. And then I stood outside this tattoo shop, and I fucking started crying. And then these 3 fat Harley Davidson women were like, oh, baby, what's wrong? Are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like,
I don't know. I don't know what's happening right now.
Through my tears, I'm like, I called him my cousin, but he wasn't. But I said, my cousin died, and he had this tattooed on his arm, and I want to get it on my arm, but they won't let me because I forgot to bring my ID.
Yeah.
And they're like, hang on, babe. And the one lady hugs me, and the 2 ladies went inside, and there was this big, gnarly Harley's guy, like a Hell's Angel looking cat, in a chair getting tattooed. And I see him, one of the women talked to him, he got up and talked to one of the other tattoo artists, and the cat walked out and he goes, get in here. Like that, gave me my tattoo, and he goes, if you tell anybody where you got this tattoo, I'll fucking find you, and I'll kick your ass. Yeah, it was fucking gnarly.
Did they charge you for it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, totally. I was like, how great were these 3 Harley women?
Yeah, but it was pretty great, it was pretty great. Because
they shouldn't, oh, that's insane.
It was like, they understood me more than my own parents did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They understood what I needed to do. And that's why for me, like one of my friends is like, you seem different than that too. I'm like, tattoo. I'm like, I got this when I was like 19.
Yeah.
Or 18, 17, you know? I'm fucking 48 now.
Jeez.
You know, and it's like, yeah, of course I'm going to be different.
Yeah.
Of course life's going to change, but that doesn't mean, it's not, you don't rip old photos out of your photo album.
Well, that's the whole beauty of it. When you get a tattoo, it's also the snapshot of that moment
100%.
in your life.
Yeah.
Like, I get mine every state I go to. So it's like, when I look at one, I'm like, this is what Portland was like. You know what I mean? Oh, that was
cool.
definitely very Idaho.
I like that.
DC, oh man, that's your little art right there.
I like that. Yeah, it's cool.
So that's a crazy tattoo story, but on the topic of tattoo stories, we were hanging out a couple months ago. We did a show at a hookah bar, and you told me a tattoo story in Japan.
Yeah.
Are you down to share that?
Sure.
Oh
yeah.
man, this is like my favorite. I've told this to other people, being like, this isn't mine, but I have a friend. Trust me, it's gonna be a great 2 minutes.
It was intense. Okay, so later on in life, I started getting a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Like from work, and I wanted to get like a really nice tattoo, and I wanted to get something Japanese traditional because my dad was a judo player, and I grew up loving martial arts. And there's a holiday in Japan called Boys' Day.
Okay.
And it's when they put koi fish kites all over the streets.
Nice.
Now it's called Kids' Day, but it used to be called
cute.
Boys' Day.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, my dad took me there to do a tournament, and it was Boys' Day at the time, and I saw the koi fish everywhere, and it's like the one nice memory I have of my dad, because we never got along after that.
For sure.
And then when he passed away, I was like, oh, I want to get a koi.
Yeah.
That commemorates Boys' Day. Because koi were like, the reason why koi were a symbol of masculinity is because if you take a knife to a koi fish, it just sits there silently.
Oh, it just takes it.
Yeah, it just takes, so it dies with honor according to Bushido culture.
Oh, interesting.
So
I got mine because it was cheap flash.
So according to Bushido culture, like because the koi fish dies with honor, it's a symbol of masculinity. So then my dad passes away. I find this tattoo artist. He's like this super cool guy. He'd lived in Japan for years, knew everything about the real way to do it. Yakuza, like black, reversed out. And just took almost 2 years to do, because there's like layers of colors.
And that was all Japan?
Well, it started there, yeah.
Okay, word.
And then finished here.
Word. Oh, that's cool to have a little bit of a travel history to it.
But over there, he told me a story about another American guy. Like they learned Yakuza tattooing style from a dude that was Yakuza.
Okay.
And there's a tradition, there's a lot of like
small little subtle, like I know it's like you can't have clouds, I think like below the waist, or you can't have water like above certain places. Yeah.
But there's also superstitions.
Yeah.
Like once you put the eyes on the dragon, it's awake. And if the dragon's awake, you can't tattoo anymore, you give that person bad luck.
Yeah, because the dragon's alive, yeah.
So there was this dude that was being apprenticed, and he was doing the tattoo. He did the eyes on the dragon, woke up the dragon, and then when he went to, bye you guys, great job.
Take care guys, great show.
Good one. Great job, nice to meet you. Bye, I love this stuff. Bye, nice to meet you, Tamer.
Friends. Take care.
Thanks. Okay.
Comedy show.
So that was good. It makes it more natural.
Yeah.
So they apprenticed this guy, and they taught him about this Yakuza tattooing style and that the dragon thing. And apparently one time he was tattooing a guy. Yeah. And did the eyes on the dragon, and then after he did it, which is, I mean, it happens, he noticed that he hadn't shaded a part and went back and shaded, and the guy, I guess, pushed him away, stood up, and walked out of the tattoo shop.
Bounced, yeah.
Just like angry. And
this guy was American learning in Japan, right?
Exactly.
All right, cool. So he was just kind of like, I just want to learn how to tattoo.
Yeah. I think he was part Japanese, but mostly Japanese-American
USA, yeah.
So then the guy, like, apparently the guy that tattooed me said the guy went, they didn't see him anymore, like he wasn't in the tattoo shop, and they thought,
was this like the day after, a couple days
after? They didn't see him, and they're like, oh, maybe the guy got scared, or maybe he was embarrassed, or whatever. And then, like, he stayed there and never had any problems. 2 months later, something like that goes by, he's walking through the small area and he sees his buddy and he yells out his name. He's like, hey. The guy wouldn't turn around. He ran up to him and tapped him on the shoulder. When he turned around, the guy had these 2 fingers cut off.
Jeez, on his tattooing hand.
On his tattooing hand.
Oh my God.
So he couldn't hold.
Yeah.
Or these fingers cut off. So it looked like he was doing
just
a
hang loose forever. Yeah. Which is, if you're gonna get your fingers cut off, at least it's in a cool design. But you were also saying, like, didn't they like come to the shop and they were like, stop asking about him and stuff?
Oh, I don't know about that. No, did I say that?
I think I made up that part of the story when you told me the story.
You know what? He told me that story when we were like pretty fucked up, and it was like I it sobered me up.
Yeah.
It was like a gnarly story.
Especially because, like, imagine if you did comedy somewhere overseas and they were
Yeah.
like, oh, you just don't do a joke about this.
And the gang there, dude.
Cut off your tongue or something.
The gang, Yakuza,
They own
there,
everything.
They own a lot of things.
Yeah.
They're embedded in the culture. If
They're partially legit in a lot of businesses, yeah.
100%. They're like, here's what they're like. They're like a trained tiger. We're like, oh, look how nice the Yakuza is. If you're a single mom and you have a son and he's acting up, you can send him to the Yakuza. And they'll mentor him in a really positive way. I've seen Yakuza walk up to, there's signs that said, no Yakuza, please. And gang members would be like, aw, and walk away.
Wow.
So there's this thing where you're like going, oh, they're
chill.
totally civilized.
Yeah.
They're still
just a cool club.
They're just, they feel, it's almost like seeing a collar on a tiger. And then every once in a while they remind you, they're fucking tigers.
Yeah.
And they are not, it's still a fucking mob organization. You know?
Jeez.
It's pretty intense. Like the thing that was fascinating to me is it reminded me every city has a dark side.
Yeah. 100%.
Even a place that's like so full of honor and honesty and safety in a lot of ways, there's still gnarly shit that
There's
happens.
some small towns I go to where I'm like, look how cute this is.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
One town over, there's something going on. Well, hey,
Yeah.
Tamer, I'm so happy you got to be a part, brother.
Thanks for having me, man.
Where can people find you? Where can people see you? All this
the
good
best
stuff.
place is tamerkattan.com. It's TamerKattan.com or at Tamer Kattan on Twitter and at Tamer Kat on Instagram.
Beautiful.
I love this.
Cut off my finger. Look at
I
that.
love it. Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
It's a great street. Well, thank you, brother.
All right, bro.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me.
Awesome.
All right, man.